My name is Mike Adams. I'm going to call the October 13th school board meeting to order. And with that, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Looney's worked kind of organize our SB Award winners to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first thing on the agenda is the SB Awards. And these are awards giving to exceptional student performance. There's a script that I should have, but I don't. Exceptional student performance this year. The board wants to recognize students monthly for exceptional performance. This award is given to students who are doing well academically and have an exceptional positive attitude about school. They demonstrate respect and responsibility towards staff and their peers. They show courage by not conforming to peer pressure and refuse to accept anyone who bullies. The school board and district want to recognize these students by celebrating their success at the beginning of each board meeting. Students receive a nice plaque and have their names announced on the web and in the district newsletter. And I think once a year they do an award of an electronic device typically, and put all the names in a drawing. So with that, Amanda Carter is going to announce the SB Award winners for tonight.
Olivia Savetsky from the Sweet Home. Obi Chrisman. Sophia Solons from Hi Jewel from the junior high. Hayden Flores from Foster. Madison Martin from Foster. Nora Cochran from Hawthorne. Aubrey McDowell from Holly. Kira Nicholson from Holly. Amy Lynn Lacey from Oak Heights.
Good job.
William Miller from Oak Heights. Jalay Prescott from the State Department. And Josie Platt from the Charter.
Now we'd ask everyone to come up to the front so the new era can take a picture. So bring your awards. All the winners, and stand right here and face the back of the room. And tall people in the back.
Little ones, come on up here, right up here. There you go. Just.
All right. Yeah. All right, we'll meet you once that. All right. Please, so make sure your eyes are open and you should smile. You move, so we're. All right. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
And we do understand this is a school night, so we're not offended, and we'll usually take a few minutes for everyone that wants to leave. So that kids can do their homework and those sort of things.
That's not a yes. Yeah, I just.
Did you want to buy it?
Yeah.
Congratulations. We have the wrong name. They're really not giving so bad.
Yeah.
They both gave you. So
Yeah.
they're.
The whole.
I know, they all, that is all we, except sometimes there's a hint,
Been saying.
but I mean, everybody feels awkward. I don't want to stay here.
About $800.
And it's for hours. And it's for hours. With kids. Yeah.
2024. Holy cow.
I'm glad we do it. I'm glad we do it up front.
I'm not ready to come back in again. And I just called. And he probably 8, 9.
Yeah, she was to me. I'm on my budget.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Sell them home. Here more than $1,000.
Yeah. Well, you would hope it, yeah.
They were all-
We'll bring us back into order. And next we have the board election for the position 4 in Cascadia. We have one applicant. Robert, if you'd like to come forward.
Good evening.
On page 3 is his application. Robert, if you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the school board.
Yeah, this was a small work. I wrote on the. Being that I still, I live in this community, I've lived in over 10 years now, off and on through the valley, in the valley, but I have free education system, and I feel it's fair to have a part and influence on what's going on, in a sense, and overseeing. It's pretty cut and dry. So.
And we didn't prepare a list of questions that we normally do when there's multiple applicants. So anybody can just ask a question based on what you did submit. I'll ask what several military organizations, what branch and what
Oh.
MOS?
You want to know what uniform services I've been in?
Yeah,
Yeah, just regular
Just curious.
active Army and then National Guard, Army National Guard. So I know those are different components of it, so that's what I've done. Just to label it,
yeah.
but
Any board members have any questions?
oh, I still do. I have 3 kids in this district, yeah. So
What grade? You don't mind me asking?
first grade, 6th grade, and senior in high school. Yep.
Mary, do you have any questions online?
She says no. On the bottom, it says no.
Well, hearing no other questions, is there anything else you'd like to say?
You know, I mean, I'm here to answer any questions that do come up. I have free input. So,
Well,
Mr. Chairman, he
Yeah,
meets all the qualifications. I say that we take a vote.
Yeah.
Formally take a vote.
yep, no, I was gonna say I'm open, I thought you were making that motion, but
Yes.
I'm open for a vote.
I make a
Open
motion,
motion.
I make a motion that we take a vote on his election,
Okay,
his appointment.
okay. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Julie, if you do a roll call vote.
Start with Chris. Yes.
Yeah.
Rachel? Yes. Leo?
Yes.
Jenna? Yes. Mary? Yes. Dustin?
Yes. And yes,
And Mike? I wish you.
And yes. because you're waiting for the end. So if you stand and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Robert Webster,
I, Robert Webster,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon, and the laws thereof,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon, and the laws thereof,
and the policies of the Sweet Home School District.
and the policies of the Sweet Home School District.
During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge
During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the responsibilities of the office of school board member
the responsibilities of the office of school board member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think there's a seat right there between the high school student and
Not.
board member. What's that?
And not high school. student.
Yeah.
The high school student and the not high school.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, the other side.
For the son, yeah. You get it, microphone.
So at this time, we're open for public comments. And if anybody'd like to make some comments, I think you must be Mr. Jarvis.
Yes, I'm Gary Jarvis. I apologize in advance if I slur. I hope that I had root canal today and
Oh.
had the great fun of that. So, my reading glasses. My name is Gary Jarvis, and I've lived in Sweet Home for a dozen years, and generally have been very pleased with what I've seen from the school district and staff, educators, and board members. It has seemed very clear that the board, the administration, and the various employee organizations have had a lot of mutual respect and have strived to do what is best for the students above all else. I know that none of you are necessarily novices and that you know what you're doing as board members, and I hope you don't find my musings here to imply that you don't know what you're doing. I'm primarily speaking tonight because I wanted to address something that happened at your last regular meeting, but thought as long as I'm speaking, I would mention a couple of other thoughts that I've had for a while. The notion of everybody working together for a common goal got off to a kind of rocky start with the newest composition of the school board. I spent almost 74 years of my life as an advocate, or rather not almost 74 years, most of my 74 years of life as an advocate and representative for my union, in addition to working full-time for my employer. I know from long experience it can be difficult to truly put aside divisions, but I applaud this group for resolving to attempt to put the episode of the past couple of months behind you and move forward onto important business before you this year. It's important to the students, staff, teachers, as well as the community. Based on other experiences as a parent and as a labor advocate, I offer the following. When it comes to formulating local cell phone policy for staff and students and negotiations with employee organizations for new contracts that you're going to have to deal with this year, I urge you to rely on yourself and your own best judgment when it comes to these and other issues. So unity between you is very important. The Oregon School Board Association can be a good resource, but ultimately we will all do better if we make our own decisions and use their assistance only when necessary. It is important to remember that just as the Sweet Home Teachers Association has their own organization, OEA, to rely upon for advice and negotiations, both the OEA and the OSBA often may have their own agendas that don't necessarily mesh with or benefit the community or students of Sweet Home. As parents, we watched nearly 30 years ago as the OSBA appeared to use our school district back then, which was Elmira Veneta schools, as a test case in gutting just cause protections for teachers' contracts. The OSBA encouraged this so that if successful, it could be used as a template for pattern bargaining in larger districts. The resultant lockout of teachers and ordering them to turn in their keys and clear out their classrooms over the impasse split the community, hurt the students and teachers and parents alike, and diminished trust and support in the school board. Like that school board, which was Fern Ridge, Sweet Home has a unique community with its own unique needs, so it is in all of our best interest to tailor our contracts and policies to our local needs. In recent years, I believe that the Sweet Home Teachers Association, as well as the board, has done precisely this, and I hope that it continues. I have two more thoughts, both concerning the way in which you conduct meetings. The first one is what inspired me to speak tonight at all. And that is, at the last regular meeting, a board member called out an audience member by name and seemingly complained about her supporting his opponent in the previous election. Since the comments were made during the part of a meeting where the person called out had no ability whatsoever to respond, in my opinion, it was inappropriate and had no bearing whatsoever on what was being debated at the time. Comments from the board should only be directed at meeting attendees who have voice during the meeting and not at public who have no voice during that portion of the meeting. So I'm now standing up for that. For the members of the public who were inappropriately singled out at the last board meeting. And finally, I think it would serve you as a board to continue to refamiliarize yourselves with board rules as well as Robert's Rule of Order. There have been instances in the past few meetings where discussion was allowed that was not germane to a motion that was on the floor, as well as discussion that was made and allowed even prior to there being a second on a motion. Also, your elections for officers are not technically qualified as elections because you've never opened and closed nominations prior to voting to fill a vacancy. You instead allow a single nomination and immediately voted on that person up or down without seeing if there were other nominees. So in reality, you had a selection rather than an election. And your board rules call for an election. An election is supposed to pit nominee against nominee, and whoever gets the most votes is elected. You did use a election process, which that is recognized as an election when you filled your previous board seat. But your elections for officers fail to follow accepted election practice. And so I urge you to review those rules, and so that the meetings can't be challenged, that someone cannot come back later and say, well, there was somebody else that wanted to be nominated, but they never had a chance because you never asked for additional nominations. But in any event, I thank you so much for your time. I just wanted to express these things and appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is any other comments from the public? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda approval or changes.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Which one? The revised one.
Revise, yeah, right. I'm waiting for it. Revised agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? Julie, if you do a roll call vote.
Mason? Yes. Rachel Meeder?
Yes.
Amanda Carter?
Yes.
Jenna Northern?
Yeah.
Mike Adams?
Yes.
Dale Keen?
Yes.
Mary Scott? Yes. And Dustin Nichols?
Yes. And new.
Oh, and
Oh. So. I gotta miss one person each time. But now I think I got you. Thank you. You're a yes.
With that, we'll move on to student and personnel reports. Certified and classified representatives, Steve? Dalma? Hey, guys.
Excuse me.
We're in full swing, and as the weather turns, it feels like the school year now as we start getting the cold weather and the shorter days, but a lot of things are going on and happening. We just came off of, and you'll probably speak a little bit more about the homecoming week, but the work that our leadership crew did and our school did, and then, beating Marist there was just kind of a little icing on that. It was very cool. But now at the high school, we're starting to get ready for the Thanksgiving basket drive, and a lot of the other grade schools and stuff are working on it. Found out that Foster is putting together a student leader, the Foster Fox leadership program, where they're going to be doing a student council, which is really cool, I think. And then, there's so many things with the Holly Garden Club and is it Okites that did the jogathon? Is that Okites? Yeah, Okites raised $12,000 to go into their classroom stuff, and which is really a cool thing, and what we have going on. And but we're starting to feel a little bit more normal now, and I'm excited for that to see. I know at the high school, the team's back together, and I'm very excited about that and like the direction we're going there, and just a lot of really fun things happening. I don't know how many of you guys got to watch the Our First, Their Last. That's just neat. That's our thing, and I don't know if that's just something I can see continuing on and going well, and so I'm kind of excited to see that as we go. I did want to bring up one thing. I don't know where it's at, and I don't know if I missed something, but the flag policy that you guys are going to be discussing today, is that discussed today? I don't know if there's been anybody interview teachers or administrators and get their input on it. You see, the people that it affects every single day usually have some really great input. And as far as that flag, I don't care where it was made. I know that nor does the guys that served here really care where it was made. They serve their flag and their country. And a policy that's going like that. And I think I know at the high school, I know some of the grade schools are doing a pledge every day, and I just see the importance of that. And me, those who know me know what kind of person I am. And but I just you don't have to eat apple pie every day to know how much you love it. And after a while, it get old. And I think mandating an every day at the high school or something, because it's a high school is a little different than an elementary school, and when kids are arriving and things like that and going through. But you know, every classroom has a flag, and every Monday we started off with the Pledge of Allegiance, and every assembly, every sporting event, we do this. And at every sporting event, you won't see a single kid sit down or not honor their flag or their country, you know? And so, man, if we're going to do policies, I'd sure like to see it having to do with stuff that affects the safety and importance of our kids and our teachers, you know, parent policies, social media policies, things such as that, you know, last year, you know, I said, you know, why are we having a turnover? We're doing very well with our turnover of teachers. I don't know if you realize that. We're doing very well. But there's some things like that I think have a little bit more importance than our having the flag of a policy. I already thought we did. I thought we honored our flag. I know we do at our schools very well and in our sports. And on the back of every one of my wrestling singlets is a USA flag. I've been doing it since I've been buying the singlets, and you know, we honor our country. Now, come to find out, I don't think that's, I don't know, I think it breaks some flag rules, but everything breaks some flag rule. USA flag and a pin will, or anything does. So, but you know, I want you guys to know that we already honor our flag. And if you want input, you want to get some true data, talk to the people, the teachers and the administrators in their building, because I don't know how many people have been interviewing them. I know one talked to me or Dan Tal, and we've been there longer than anybody. So we've seen it through a lot of different ways. So, do you guys have any questions about what's going on or anything, or input, or what we could do better? I'd love to, I want to come here and answer your questions. If you ever have a question, I may not have the answer for it, but I'll at least try. I'll try to answer it. And if I don't have an answer, I'll come back to the next one with an answer. So, but yeah, very exciting to see the direction we're starting to head now. And I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the board, man. That seat, was it warm when you got in it? That's a hot seat, man. So good luck to you guys, and I'll probably be around later.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Next, we have our student report.
We'll talk about what's going on in high school. As Mr. Folks said, we recently had our homecoming. We had great participation in our assemblies and our events that we put on through it, such as like the bonfire, again, and all of our high school football games. We also had our leadership class go to other schools and see what type they did for them. We stole from their ideas and made ours a little bit better. So we also had Harrisburg come to us, they still come to ours a bit better. We also have the Candy Food Drive coming up soon. So we're kind of getting the swing of that. We'll start putting out some stuff for donations and all of that stuff. We also recently had a blood drive that I ran. We got 52 units. We got the blood. We got 63 total donors. The next one's February 5th. Also, we had your first, my first, your last. That was really cool from my perspective. I really liked it. I got to meet some of the New Yorkers. It was really nice to see. And also. We also have a kindness campaign that the weekly class is running. It's a project where each of the 40 class board members is making a poster that we'll put up around the school and other schools as well to promote and promote kindness. Also from recognition, we brought in our fire department and included them into some of our games and stuff like that, so we got more involved. There's good as well.
Did you beat up on the firemen?
Yeah.
That's good. That's not bad.
Well, thank you. And you're free to go home and do homework if that's what you choose.
Thank you.
Next, we have a superintendent's report. Enrollment attendance update.
All right, thank you. With our enrollment, our attendance started out very strong. High school, 86.91%. The junior high was 91.05. Charter was 92.04. Oak Heights 92.13. Foley, who was our winner for the month, 93.59. Closely, very, very closely followed by Hawthorne at 93.57%. And Foster at 92.11%. So I don't see the is it still where's Mark?
There's no boo.
And Hawthorne. We go get it right now. Nope, that is an illegal hold and get that, I will take that out to Holly. So Holly, congratulations at 93.59%. With our enrollment, we have hopefully settled out. 9/30 of 24, we have 2,264. 9/30 of this year, 2,203. We started out higher to start off the school year. Again, as folks settle out, and complete their moves, this is where we are, 2,203. This still represents a decline over past years. As you see there, going back to 2,341, 23, 2,369, 24, 2,264, and now 2,203. If you look at our kinders, we have 129. First grade, 137, second grade, 140. And if you go up and look at the top of the grades, we are set to graduate 172. We have 181 11th graders, 209 10th graders. So the trend is we are graduating larger classes than what we're bringing in. That follows state trends and national trends of declining enrollment all across the schools, the state, and country. So as we do directly receive money for the students that are here, that's something that we'll talk about each time to start off our meeting. Keep that number out there in front of you, because that's what that's where our overall operating budget comes from.
Terry, I have a quick question.
Yes,
The 2203 total, is that the date of that? Is that supposed to be 9/30/25?
yes, correct.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Just past the seniors, that date should read 9/30/25. That's good. Questions, any other questions on either of those? Yes,
So in a month, we went down significantly. Okay.
we did. And that is largely, we take students from the end of last year, bring them forward, the folks that believe that they're going to be here. And then to start up the school year, there's a flurry of activity. Folks that have moved, we do have a pretty high transiency rate moving between here in Lebanon, here in Albany. You know, into the various, some out of state. What was that?
Some completely has.
Right. So if you'd like more detailed information on that, we can get that for you, but it's the start of the school year settling in.
Okay.
You know, some people wait once they see the school buses coming by, now it's time to register. And despite doing kindergarten camps and different roundups and things, we still have that each year.
Is the 10-day drop impacting that?
It will,
Not yet.
absolutely. We do everything we can to make it a enriching and engaging environment, but there are some that, you know, for a variety of reasons, choose not to. They'll get dropped. It's we're required to drop them at 10 days in a row of absences. So then we'll see some of them re-enroll here, re-enroll elsewhere. And so some of that number will be kind of continually in and out of our population. Anything else on that? Okay. Our strategic plan, we had that I felt was a very productive work session today on our strategic plan. We have a graphic with the Whittle Bridge and the pillars underneath, the things that we will be doing, you know, ensure that our students meet the mark, as it were. There are a few little tweaks that we need to make to this. But that is something that is up to the board and as far as adopting what we have.
And this is a time I wanted to say I'd be open to a motion to approve in the revised form as discussed in the work session, and then we'll bring it back the final written product for final approval next month.
I'd second that. Oh, make a motion, sorry. I make a motion to adopt the revised plan that we discussed in the meeting earlier.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? So, see. Hearing none, Julie, if you do a roll call.
Robert Webster,
Yes.
Chris Hansen,
Yes.
Rachel Weiner,
Yes.
Amanda Carter, yes. Jana May Northern,
Yes.
Mike Adams.
Yes.
Gail King,
Yes.
Mary Speck,
Yes.
and Dustin Ecken.
Yeah.
Did I forget anybody? Okay.
And approved unanimously. Superintendent goals. The next week.
Those are coming around. Thank you, Dale. Yes. You got it set? Yeah. Okay, what I have here is in draft form, since we are in the process of drafting or approving our strategic plan. This, you'll find the strategic priorities 1 through 4 as well. And so this time, if it's okay with the board, I'd just like to walk through these. You have a copy in front of you. Plan on reading it in its entirety to you. I'll just touch on some of the things. Safe and engaging schools, strategic priority number 1. This came out of our survey, something that our community very strongly desires for our schools to be. And so as such, you'll see the goals in there around school safety, safety and belonging surveys, modernized classroom learning spaces, reduction in safety incidents, and bullying and peer conflict referrals, and climate surveys. And so on each of these, as the year goes on, I will be reporting out on these. And they will be, as it's stated there, not yet, partially, fully, and ongoing. So that's strategic priority number 1. Number 2, thriving students, prepared citizens. This one also came out very high. Our community wants folks that are ready to take that next step, whether that's going on to higher education, going on to trade school, whatever that may be for the individual student. The third one, strategic priority 3, academic success for all. We have to do that in all that we do. We have to continue to work to eliminate the gaps in student learning, whatever the percentage is. It may sound okay unless you find your own student on the wrong side of that percentage. The state has given us goals, reading at the 3rd grade level, math at 8th grade, early elementary attendance, and then on track to graduate. And those things will, those are also essentially embedded in here. And then on the back page, connected school community, increased family participation, growth in community partnerships, improved communication ratings on annual surveys, stakeholder involvement, district communication, and family engagement. So this would be the initial set of goals as draft. If this is something that the school, as a board, you approve of, think that these are the right things to be following as it relates to our strategic plan, then updates will come out over the course of the year.
And I'm open to a motion. If anyone would like to take action on,
Draft.
yeah.
I would make a motion to approve the draft.
I'll second that.
Jenna, and then Rachel seconded that. Julie, if you do a roll call.
Dustin Nickel,
Yes.
Mary Speck. Dale King,
Yes.
Mike Adams.
Yes.
Jenna Northern,
Yes.
Amanda Carter,
Yes.
Rachel Maynard.
Yeah.
Chris Hansen,
Yes.
and Robert Foster.
Yeah.
There is a yes.
And then next up, we have policy INDB, flag displays and salutes. We heard from Steve Thorpe about this, and with all due respect, I think he's spot on. What I heard Steve saying is if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you have first graders and above, and you ask them to recite the pledge for you, they can do so. Which indicates to me that we're on track with what we're doing, the frequency that we are doing the flag salutes. From first grade on, our kids know it. We are having our littles come up with the SB awards, just because that's placing kids at the center again, which is what we're all here for. But OSBA indicated that there are issues with this. And what OSBA said was run to your legal. And they specifically cited Newburgh and the lawsuits and such that have come out of Newburgh that did basically the same exact pattern. And legal found it to be problematic too, because once you start, selecting what you will allow, you're also selecting what you won't allow. That's where a lot of the legal challenges come in. And so I'm in support of what Steve said. When we make changes, we really need to be talking to and reflecting on the change, who the changes impact. This impacts our classroom teachers. Time wise, and all the other things that go along with that. So my question is, what is it that's broken that we're trying to fix? We've got flags in every classroom. We purchased them. You know, we pulled that one down and looked at it and found the marking on it. That's an American made flag. I don't disagree with any of the content here, but just the position that it puts us in. You need to understand that if we do pursue this, there's a real downside that we could be impacting ourselves financially.
So I'd like to say I did speak with a lot of teachers and principals. And of course, as a kid, I always did the flag raise in the morning, that's just what we did, walk in class, we did that. Impacting the schools would be a lot to ask them to do that too. They do it every Monday, but to put the flag up, take the flag down, for your kids to be able to respect the flag appropriately. The amount of academic time that's built into the 6 hours that they actually get them in a seat. That affects that time. So as much as like, I love honoring our flag. I think that the amount of time that has been allotted by teachers, by speaking to the principal, how it will impact the end of the day. It would be really tough to implement a good policy.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead. You said my name. Sorry, I looked at her first.
This
You're next,
is, this is considered a first reading, correct?
This is him talking about it in his report, and we could make a motion to amend it some way. We could make a motion to bring it to move it to a first reading. We could make a motion to have it die.
Okay, thank you.
Rachel.
If a teacher wanted to implement it daily, is that something that a teacher is allowed to do in their classroom?
Yes,
Okay.
and some do,
Okay.
and some of our schools do. But this is, mandating it across the district. Our administrators reported out, and there are a variety of things. It's not less than weekly. And sporting events, assemblies, it's in addition to that.
I agree with Jenna. I can respect what's trying to be put across here. But I can also respect what the teachers say they're in it day in and out, so.
Mary, do you have any comments?
Yes, I had my
You wanna
hand raised.
Give input.
Yes, can you hear me?
Sorry, I just turned and saw your hand. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Your mute's off, Mary, so I think you should be able to talk. You're recognized. Go ahead.
Yep, trying to talk. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
It looks like your mute's off, but we can't hear you, Mary.
Can you hear me now?
I believe when it turns green, it's saying that she's talking. But we can't hear her.
Where's it turning green?
Up around
So-
her name.
Oh,
See?
Can you hear me?
Is there volume up?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
we're not hearing you, Mary.
You want her to just type it in the chat?
You can feel free to put your comments in chat if you'd like to.
Anybody have, oh, yes, I'm
Yeah, call Julie, Mary.
just throwing that out there. That wrong. Okay. That she's using.
Is she using her phone or is she using a computer?
Like making negative first reading.
Okay, so I'll take that as a motion for first reading by Mary. Is there a second? Any board member want to second that motion? Hearing none, the motion dies.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we do not change the policy.
Second that motion.
Motion by Dale, second by Jenna. Go ahead, Julie.
Robert Webster. It's a motion to not, Chris Eisen. Yes. Rachel Maynard. Yes. Amanda Carter. Yes. Jenna Northern.
Yes.
Mike Adams.
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Dale King,
Yes.
Mary Speck. No. And Dustin Nickel.
Yes.
You did that, right?
You said no. You want me? Yes.
This is what I want to understand right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a motion not to change in the negative. Next, we have the consent agenda. Approve the minutes from the September 8th school board meeting, September 8th work session, September 29th. Special school board meeting, and approve the out-of-state field trip for the high school cheerleading team to Anaheim, California on February 18th to the 25th, 2026.
Get the revised.
What's that? Oh. Sorry, and approve an out-of-state field trip for SHY conference for trio students in Orlando, Florida. 11/5/2025.
Make a motion to approve all the.
Second.
Jenna is the first, Dale's the second. Go ahead, Julie.
Robert Webster. We're approving that consent agenda.
Let's see. The motion's to approve the consent agenda.
Chris Mason. Yes. Rachel Maynard.
Yes.
Amanda Carter. Yes. Jenna Northern.
Yes.
Mike Adams.
Yes.
Dale Keen.
Yes.
Mary Speck.
She did a yes.
Yes. Dustin Nickel.
Yes.
And next we have a budget update from Kevin.
Okay, thanks, Mike. This is item 9A in the board packet. We have now completed the first 3 months of the fiscal year for the general fund. Year-to-date spending is running just over $342,000 above the same time period last year. That's primarily due to higher labor costs as well as higher liability insurance and property insurance expenses. I would ask that you kind of keep this in context too with the enrollment report that Superintendent Martin provided. Our revenue is directly tied to enrollment, and so we need to watch both. Currently, at the elementary level, we have probably some of the most favorable staff to student ratios that we've had in decades. But keep in mind that, for the long term, we need to be careful there just because, our revenue from the state is driven by our enrollment. So that's something we need to continue to watch in the months ahead.
Any questions for Kevin on the budget? Hearing none, Kevin, you have staff updates on the policies?
Sure. Okay, so this is item 9B in the board packet. And we just want you to be aware of a housekeeping item with this board policy. The board policy lists staff members to contact. And as we've had some turnover among our principals, the contacts have changed. And so the policy has been updated to include the current principals for each school.
What about those wanting to make a report at the high school?
Let's see. Let's see. So, and that's some good observation. That's something we can update.
Hey, that works.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
That was the only question I had.
Mhm.
Other than that, it looks at mine. Assuming the email addresses are correct. Anybody have any other questions for Kevin? And then you'll bring this back for first reading.
No, it doesn't have to be reading. It's just letting you guys know that that policy has to be updated every single time if we make changes to the staff. So it's not changing anything in the
Oh.
policy. All it's doing.
It's changing the name.
It's just letting you guys know that we updated it.
No, that's great. Thank you. And high school health curriculum opt-out form. Harvey Riggs.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come tonight and share with you. We had our health curriculum adoption year last school year, the 24-25 school year. And we ended up adopting our K-6 curriculum, the Great Body Shop, along with our 7-8 curriculum, the Great Body Shop. So we're fortunate to have K-8 similar curriculum. ODE approved one high school health curriculum. Live Well health curriculum for high school, and we asked for a postponement. We wanted to be very transparent with you, the board, and with our community and our families. And we wanted to come up with an opt-out form to give our families the option to opt their children out of some sensitive curriculum topics. So if you'll look in your board packet on 9C, you will see that opt-out form. We met with our leadership team, with the health PLC team, with Superintendent Martin's approval. We have a very transparent opt-out form that our families can make the decision to have their students in the curriculum during a sensitive topic. And this is all about the sexual and reproductive health curriculum topics. And you can see listed below, there's 8 areas that we wanted to give our families the option of having their students in the health class or have them do a health related lesson that is not part of the sexual health reproduction unit. So I just wanted to share that with you, and we'll be voting later to adopt our health curriculum. ODE, like I said, gave the state one choice. All of the school districts had one choice for high school health curriculum that met the new standards. And then on 9D, I would like to report out that every year, November 1st, it's my pleasure to share with the community and share with the school board that the Sweet Home School District was compliant in all 59 areas of our Division 22 assurances. So I'll give you a little bit of information about Division 22 for those of you that aren't familiar with that. The Division 22 standards are the requirements that the Oregon legislature or the State Board of Education has determined that must be met in a school district. So you can see in your packet, we have listed all 59 areas, and we are in compliance with all 59. We have an inter-district working Google sheet where we list the policies or the approval of the administrator, or if it's facility related, Josh Darwood will make his approval. So it's very transparent, and it's my pleasure to share that we've met all 59 and we're compliant in all the areas. And we'll need to vote on both of these areas later on this evening. Sure.
Why is the diploma requirements waived through the end of?
That's something that ODE waived for the whole entire state. It wasn't just waived for Sweet Home, it was everybody.
And same for the other one?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions for
Yes.
our curriculum director?
Is this some requirements for the SEL?
No.
Any of that? Okay.
These, as I've said, these are requirements that we have to do yearly. We're always looking a year back, so the year that we finish, we are in compliance. These are assurances to the state.
And just a side note,
We
we're
submit
looking
based on last year.
right,
Correct.
the 24-25
Yeah.
school year, but we're looking really good for this current year, 25-26. But they give us, of course, until the end of the school year, and then we report out before November 1st, so usually in October. All right, thank you.
Thank you. And someone, maybe Kevin, we have an action item, approved replacement of district phone system. Terry?
Yeah.
Did I skip one?
Yeah, you skipped
E.
the revised.
Say that again.
Personal electronic device policy. We're on 9.
There we are. Yeah, so personal electronic device policy. Terry?
Yes, this is something that I had hoped we were going to have some leeway at the local level with. And we plan to talk it through and do what would make sense for us. Turns out we don't. There's exactly none. The governor has stated from bell to bell, the start of the school day to the end of the school day, student cell phones are to be off and away. We have made the decision, we're not putting them in phone jail, although some probably, some individual teachers probably do. But as far as the district, we're not spending big piles of money on Yonder pouches. That's not or against Yonder, but they're expensive. There are some smaller ones that have come out that are less expensive. We're not doing that. I subscribe to the philosophy of Jurassic Park. Life will find a way. The kids will test the fences. They'll figure it out. What we're doing now is just asking them, they have to be off and away. We're not taking them away from you. We don't want to see them. We don't want to hear them. If an emergency happens, kids still have them. And I think ultimately, that's what parents want. There are essentially 3 exceptions. Those exceptions being students on IEP or 504.
Students' medical providers order for the care and treatment of a medical condition.
Yep, and then the final one essentially is a principal's call. We have students still facing high levels of anxiety, whether that's coming out of COVID, not being around people, being around people, whatever it is. Principal can make the call that for whatever reason, a particular student needs to have their phone. It's still expected to be off and away. Students' medical needs, checking, diabetic numbers, whatever it is. There are those exceptions. Outside of that, the expectation is we don't see them, we don't move. If we see them, if we hear them, we'll continue to work with that student, not inclusive of them losing academic time for that infraction. So people always jump right to, is my student going to be expelled? Almost never. I think a lot of times what people mean is, will the student be suspended? We're not doing suspensions over phones.
And that last exception that you said uses the language to accommodate the individual circumstances of a student or to further specific educational outcomes for a student.
You have a sister
And I think
that's been in an accident, is going through surgery, family needs to be able to get in touch with you immediately. It's gonna be reasonable, just like we do as employees. If something's going on, we're gonna be in a meeting, but my daughter's giving birth. I wanna know as soon as that's going on so that I can.
Steve Thorpe's going to give a class on a certain app on the phone as part of personal finance. No idea if you teach, I don't think you teach personal finance, but example.
This isn't something that makes, I don't think anyone happy. There are good things that come out of it. We know that there's a tremendous amount of folks not treating their peers very well electronically. And so this takes away one more, that's a piece in favor of it. They don't have their funds out and available. It won't be happening to such a great degree. Schools are reporting more talking is going on. More talking to one another. In checking with our food services director to see, if we absolutely tanked at lunchtime, is everybody's from school to go to Speedy Mart or wherever to be able to use their cell phones. Our breakfast and lunch numbers are actually up. More students are eating on campus, which I would like to think that goes along with their talking to one another. People have used the term detox. Most students are getting a chance to detox from their cell phones, addiction. On.
I know that you and I spoke about the Wi-Fi at the high school and that, but can we talk about it in public meetings so some people have better understanding of the white page and the different sites that you can't get to and employees not being able to contact because the phones don't work.
The issues that we're having with our hard phones, hard lines, we will be talking about in 11C. But I think what you're referring to is the new filtering system that we have.
Yes.
Just like testing, when a test first comes out, whether it's for teacher candidates, whether it's for third graders, whatever it is, they don't typically start out with a test and set a low bar. They set a high bar. Just like filtering, the new filtering system that we have at Sophos is very aggressive. And it's causing some issues. Teachers being blocked from access to a website that they thought that they would be able to use. And so the response to that is whitelisting, making that website okay for staff to use. Well, we can't do that with full block, so something fairly innocuous, National Geographic. You would think that you could just take, okay, if National Geographic has 8,000 websites, just make them okay. Whole entire thing, National Geographic's educational, it's good stuff, let's load it in. Well, hackers have learned that in the past, we've taken blocks of websites and whitelisted them. And so they can have something in tucked away in there that is harmful, and we've just whitelisted something that we don't want. So there is a learning curve with that. We've asked staff to continue to request those to be whitelisted. We've asked technology to work to get those through. And so as time goes on, this is going to be a smaller and smaller issue. It is for now, but I don't, it won't be something going down the stretch. We're really kind of teetering on the edge. If you pay attention to newspapers, people are getting attacked all the time, cyber attacks. Primarily for a long time there it was Russia, now it's China. That's the biggest player in that happening. Folks aren't cheering that we go to two-factor authentication. That we have to change our passwords. Many of these things that we're doing are required by our insurance company. The insurance company is about 2 more districts away from just not being able to insure us as a public group, because there are so many people in our schools, and teachers are good people, trusting people. They're rule followers. We've had a handful of phishing things already this year. Try to make sure that staff know that I do not need Home Depot cards from anything. But a lot of times it's something that looks like it's, it's believable. Looks like something valid. So I do understand that there's some pain around that right now, but it's, a necessary thing. And it's not forever, it's for them. Did that answer your question?
Terry, I have a question. And sorry, I just realized it's sitting here. We don't have it on the agenda as a first reading, but I note the executive order's deadline of adopted no later than October 31st, 2025. So, I guess I'm asking the board, should we go through the policy that's in 9E in the packet, and there's some options with brackets. Should we go through and do that?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move the proposed policy JFCEB to action item as a first reading.
It's been a motion to move JFCEB policy on personal electronic devices to an action item. Is there a second? Hearing none, the motion dies.
Yeah, discussion.
Yeah, we can discuss it. So what he wanted to move it to an action item to do a first reading of the policy where we can come back. Well, I mean, really strictly, if we're going to meet the executive order by the governor says that the policy is adopted no later than October 31st and effective January 1st. So if you look at 9E, the policy, if you look down the bottom paragraph before the footnotes, may be placed in district provided pouches or storage. We're not doing that. So you strike that. And then the other bracket, the last one may be stored on the student's person, but may not be used. Or the second ones may be kept by the student in lockers or backpacks, but personal electronic devices are not to be stored on the student's person and the student's clothing. So, I mean, there's a few of those that we would have to go down and go through. If the board wanted to. But Jenny, yes, I think the action was to move it to a first reading so that we could at least approve it in November's board meeting. Yeah, and then revise it between now and November's board meeting. Not really.
The reasoning to move it to an action item for first reading, it would give us the opportunity. Discuss it changes. But in order to vote it in, you'd have to have. That was just a game.
But we'd have to have it voted in by October 31st. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
I think it's a revision of the. Made like when we hung on.
Are there?
There are, like, they're
Yeah.
talking about the pouches and then those things.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
if
I
we
know.
can edit it, then we can move forward and then get someone complain that.
If we could, and there's maybe one. Assuming that, third instance. Beyond third instance. It looks like that's really the only one. There's maybe one more at the bottom that says appeals can be filed with the superintendent or in accordance with public complaint procedure. And then there's an effective date. But other than that, if we made those choices tonight and it was a unanimous vote, we could adopt the policy this meeting. If we move the first reading to an action item, adopt the policy so that we're in compliance. And I just pulled out the executive order as we started this discussion and realized that it clearly says that we should be adopted no later than October 31st.
So on the second page, it also is talking about student in violation. Could be detention, Saturday school, change to storage requirements, etc.
What number is that?
So
On
the
that
second page,
instances of non-compliance, those four.
the paragraph above that. So it says students in violation of this policy will be subject to disciplinary action.
Oh, which can include,
Yeah, detention, Saturday school.
So that's another thing we'd have to do.
Did we do Saturday?
No,
Okay.
that wouldn't be an option. That would be one that we'd strike.
This is something, again, I think we touched on this before, perhaps it's just with the officers. This did not pass a regular legislative session. This was attempted and failed. And so then the governor made it an executive order. And so timelines, we were told we're going to have guidance, so we were waiting for that guidance. And then the decision was, we're not giving you guidance, we're getting it off and away, well developed, that's it. So has this gone ideally? No. But does it remain that we've got an October 31st deadline to draft the policy, and then it goes into effect January 1st. So even if it is moved, as Dale attempted to do, if it's moved, if we were to do a reading and it were unanimous that we accept this with whatever changes made,
We would be in compliance. We could bring it back before January and amend
we'd have
it.
several more chances at it. It needs to be in place for January 1st. And that does not include loss of instructional time. So to me, that's a big thing. Okay, what's gonna happen? If a student is non-compliant, well, they're not gonna get Saturday school because we don't. They're not going to get suspended. We'll continue to work with the students to understand this is a requirement that we're under. They have to be off and away. Yes, maybe the phone gets taken away for the period, given back later until the end of days. Given back later, they continue to work that. As a parent, you may be contacted to come and get your student's phone. But we're going to be reasonable about it.
Do we do detention? Do we have some kind of, you're in trouble, go to this?
If it doesn't impact the instructional time,
Yeah, see, I have a hard time seeing how you could do that, so
Do we,
impacting.
are we complying? Are we already complying in practice?
we announced that out, the high school rolled it out. To start off the school year, junior high are following suit. The words have been off and away. If the prevalence of cell phones is like steady as you go up in grades. And that's what we've been doing.
How's that been?
Put them off and away.
How's that been going?
From the principals, they've actually been somewhat surprised. It's been going pretty well. Kids seem to understand it. You know, as a building principal, I never kept a student from calling home. Student wants to call home. Well, your teacher not come to the office, call them. You need to be in contact with home. Be in contact with home. But it's all of the distraction, the texting, all of the other stuff that comes along with it. That I believe the governor is trying to get away from. Rightfully so, during the school day.
So is the, in talking to your administrators, oh, sorry. Go Go ahead.
So is this something that, like the administrators building, we've done thing to do, but is this something that, to me, it's a building? Significant, you know. Each building is unique and it shouldn't have been up to the administrators and their staff to come up with something, and we give them guidelines and say, come up with a policy. That had the best feature building, that has a series of first, second, and third offenses with consequences thereof. Is that something that we could do, and the building and their staff come up with something that fits their needs? Instead of us trying to do something and then we can either add to it or.
I think we've still got to comply with the governor's order. I think we
Yeah,
can, you know, and I think,
But
I think-
here and the next time, this could be something, well, if we were to put it as an action item and vote it in and then say to you and your staff, figure out something for your buildings so that we don't have to just implement, shut it off, because it looks like there's some guidelines here. There's options that you can take within this, pick the options that you want that fit your building, bring it back, and then we vote on it. Is that something that's reasonable?
Yes, the junior high and high school had already been working on this. You know, this isn't something brand new, something that's been happening across states, across the country. And the good news is, you know, our students are so resilient, much more so than a lot of us are. They're responding.
So in talking to the administrators, are they planning to keep it in lockers or backpacks, or letting the kids keep it on themselves?
Just off and away. You know, they have them, they don't want to see them.
Okay.
So even if we adopt this policy or if we vote in unanimously tonight, we're still creating our own things within our own. Because some of this doesn't fit for us.
Correct.
That is in this policy.
Can you give me an example?
Well, like the non, you know, for Saturday school stuff.
Oh.
Suggestions of things.
that's-
Devices to lock them away.
We bring it back with it.
Can I,
That fits, you know,
Yeah.
that what we listed off a number of things we're not going to
Yeah,
do,
right.
so take that out of it,
Yes,
at least.
yeah, we've got a number of chances.
Okay.
So-
January 1st to do so.
so can I read, the changes I'd propose, and then open for a motion, and that's just for tonight. We can bring it back if we need to change it. But on the first page, I would strike must be placed in district provided pouches or storage. I'd leave maybe kept by students in lockers or backpacks, but personal electronic devices are not to be stored on the student's person or in the student's clothing.
I think maybe stored on the student's person.
Well, I was gonna do an or, but I was gonna, I think either is okay during these instructional. I would say it can include strike detention, strike Saturday school, add contacting parents or guardian, comma, a change to storage requirements, etc. And then we want to strike the bracket. Steps may include, keep the 4 of them, keep the footnote 8 in the policy. And at the end, appeals can be filed with the principal or superintendent. How would you recommend we do that, Terry?
Solve at the lowest level.
At the principal.
First, yeah.
So in accordance with AR.
Well, I'd say appeals can be filed with the principal. Oh,
But again.
that was an alternative to the AR policy, so I would just let them file an appeal with the principal and strike the in accordance with the AR policy, public complaint procedure. At least that's for discussion. That's my,
I think initially the very first thing to strike out possession or, because we're saying they can have it on them. They just can't use it. So I think that we need to strike out possession. The very first.
Very first, yeah.
The student possession. Or
oh,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
if we're gonna allow them to have it in their backpack or whatever, then that's in their possession.
So student.
The first word, student, and then it.
You're saying that the possession is prohibited if you keep that.
So strike out the possession.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess back up there, we'll keep footnote 2.
And I guess I was unclear what you're keeping as far as at the end of that first page. We're saying that they can be kept in the lockers, backpacks, or on them.
Yeah, we're striking the very first brackets. Keeping the second may be kept by students in lockers or backpacks. That continues, and then saying or may be stored on the student's person, but may not be used. And I think giving that broad discretion, then when there's a change to the storage requirement, they can say, take it off your person, go put it in your backpack, go put it in your locker.
If you can't, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. That's my thoughts.
I like that better.
Me too.
So I'm open to any motion to make an action item. And if it's unanimous, we can approve it on the first reading. If not,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we.
Mary
Place-
said something.
She said that earlier.
Okay, I move that we place this with the recommended, with the
suggested.
suggested amendments to an action item for first reading.
So is he doing a new motion or because his first motion died? So he's doing a new motion?
Yep.
So you're making a motion to move it to the first reading or move it to an action item to approve it tonight?
Either way, it has to go to first reading. Either way, on the first reading with these, it would have to have a unanimous vote.
Right.
So
You're saying move his revisions to an action item?
move this, the revisions, suggested revisions to an action item for first reading. And at that point, we can,
vote,
yeah.
if it's unanimous, so.
Second that motion.
Julie, if you do a roll call. Vote.
Ron Bear Webster,
Yes.
Chris Mason,
Yes.
Rachel Maynard,
Yes.
Amanda Carter,
Yes.
Jenna Northern,
Yes.
Mike Adams,
Yes.
Dale Keen,
Yes.
Mary Speck,
Yes.
and did she say yes? Okay, Dusty Deco.
Yes.
Well, I think
So.
with that, the next thing on our agenda is an executive session under ORS 192-662 Bravo. To consider the dismissal or disciplining of, or to hear complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, individual agent who does not request a hearing. So, where's my. Just had that. So the Sweet Home School Board will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192-662B. The representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said about these subjects during the executive session, except to state general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in the executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room. And if we could take a 5-minute break, and there's somebody that should stay.